There's a lesser-known story about the legendary billionaire Warren Buffett from the early days of building his Berkshire Hathaway empire. A woman, a complete stranger, sent him a letter. She had lost everything in a financial mess and was desperately asking for a large sum to rebuild her life. To most people, that amount was unthinkable. To Buffett, it was just a small fraction of his wealth. His advisors urged him not to get involved. Why? It wasn't his responsibility, they said, and it could set a bad precedent. But Warren Buffett did something no one expected. He didn't just send her a check. He wrote her a long, heartfelt letter. In it, he offered not only comfort, but also the hard-earned lessons from his own past mistakes. He took his precious time to give value, to serve someone he'd never met. Why did he do it? Because he believed in an unshakable principle. True prosperity doesn't come from holding on tight. It comes from giving. Money isn't meant to be hoarded. It's a flow. When you open the path for that flow, it returns to you stronger than ever. This is the secret the world's wealthiest people have understood and applied for ages. I know you're here for a reason. You want to break free from the cycle of scarcity, to stop worrying about bills or debt. Maybe you've tried everything, read countless books, but nothing's changed. You feel like you're working hard with no future in sight. Ever wondered, why can they do it, but I can't? I get it. That's why I made this video. Take a deep breath. I'm not here to give you empty tips or cliches. I'm going to share 5 simple habits, powerful enough to transform the flow of money in your life. These aren't lofty secrets. They're principles the truly wealthy, the billionaires, live by every day. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'm about to show you how to make these habits a part of your life, starting right now. When people talk about billionaire habits, they often imagine something complex. But the real essence isn't in what they do, it's in how they think while doing it. True wealth isn't a destination, it's a flow, like a mighty river. If you only dig a ditch for yourself, the river runs dry. But if you build channels to share the water with the fields around you, that river grows stronger every day. The habits of the wealthy aren't some modern invention. Look at ancient wisdom. The Bible speaks of sowing seeds and giving to receive. In Tibet's diamond cutter teachings, they talk about planting the seeds for what you want. All this wisdom shares one truth. You can't just take without giving. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a physical law of the universe. Plant a seed, water it, care for it, and it bears fruit. The habits of the rich are just how they systematically apply these timeless laws to modern life. The secret most people miss is they focus on copying what the rich do without understanding why. You could wake up at 4 a.m., but if you're filled with worry or fear, the results won't match. Wake up at 8 a.m. with a heart full of gratitude, generosity, and a clear vision, and you'll create far better outcomes. The difference lies in your energy and intention. Hold on to this because it's the key that unlocks every door in the chapters ahead. Let's dive right in. Habit 1. Give generously, plant the seeds of prosperity. Right now you might be thinking, I'm broke. What do I even have to give? That's the biggest mistake. Giving isn't just about money. It's a state of the soul, a way of living. Picture your life as a garden. If you only take, plucking every flower and fruit without replanting, your garden will soon turn barren. Generous giving is the act of sowing new seeds, so your garden doesn't just thrive but becomes a lush haven for everyone around you. Let's get specific. Giving generously doesn't mean emptying your pockets. It starts with the smallest intentional acts. Think about a friend who's struggling. Can you spare 15 minutes to listen without judgment? Or when you pass a homeless person, instead of looking away, can you offer a smile, a nod, maybe a few coins if you have them? These actions don't just help others, they crack open your heart, melting the walls of isolation. Now go deeper. Think about sharing knowledge. Got a skill? Maybe you bake amazing cakes, fix electronics, or know a simple work hack that saves time. Don't hoard it, share it. Bill Gates, one of the world's richest men, once said, "The greatest wealth isn't money, it's generosity with knowledge and experience." He and his wife have given billions to charity, but More than that, they've shared wisdom and expertise, helping millions access education and healthcare. That generosity of intellect built a legacy and made him one of the most influential people ever. Let's talk about giving money consciously. Don't wait until you're rich. Start now, even if it's just 1% of your income. When you give money, you're telling your subconscious, I have enough. I can give and still thrive. That's a powerful signal shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Plus, giving activates a flow. Ever seen a still lake? It gets stagnant, polluted. But a flowing river stays fresh and full. Money's the same. It needs to move. When you give, you open new channels for money to flow into your life. Habit 2, finish what you start. The power of commitment. Have you ever kicked off a project, a book, or a course only to drop it halfway? I get it, most of us have. We start with excitement, but then boredom, obstacles, or a shiny new idea pops up and we quit. Billionaires don't leave things unfinished. They know every incomplete task is an energy leak, dragging them back, making them feel inadequate, like they're always falling short. Every project you start and abandon chips away at your self-respect and belief in yourself. It's time to take action. Grab a piece of paper. Write down every single thing you've started but haven't finished. Maybe it's a book you're reading, a course you're taking, a call you haven't made, or even a promise to yourself you've forgotten. This list might feel overwhelming, but it's the first step to clearing your energy and taking back control. Look at that list and commit to finishing one small thing today. Maybe it's reading the last chapter of that book or completing a simple assignment from your course. Start small. Small wins build the mindset of a winner. Think about a professional golfer. They don't just practice the big swings, they drill the small putts, the seemingly simple shots that decide the game. Life's the same. Success doesn't come from one massive hit. It comes from hundreds, thousands of tiny wins completed every day. When you finish something, a surge of positive energy fills you. Confidence rises, you start to feel like you can do anything. Procrastination is the biggest enemy of success. Most of us delay important tasks because we fear failure, doubt our abilities, or just feel lazy. But the wealthy have learned to act despite their emotions. When they have an idea or a task, they do it now, not tomorrow. They know procrastination doesn't just waste time, it squanders the energy of creativity. Bit by bit, you'll train your brain to become that of a winner, someone who always follows through. Steve Jobs once said, "I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance." Perseverance means never giving up. Always finishing what you start. That relentless commitment built Apple into what it is today. Habit 3, live with gratitude and always see the good in others. Gratitude isn't just saying thank you. It's a powerful emotional state that can shift your vibrational frequency. Imagine living in a cold, dark room. You could complain about the chill, but that won't warm it up. Focus on the light of a single candle, feel grateful for it, and suddenly, you feel warmer. Gratitude is that candle. It doesn't change reality, but it changes how you perceive it, and that has the power to transform your reality. Most people make a fatal mistake. They're only grateful when things go well. The wealthy do the opposite. They're grateful even when life's tough. They give thanks for the chance to learn, to grow. Billionaire Oprah Winfrey once said, "Be thankful for what you have, and you'll end up having more. Focus on what you don't have, and you'll never have enough." This isn't some fluffy advice, it's a universal law. Every morning, instead of dwelling on what's missing, think of 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's a great cup of coffee, a sunny day, or just the air in your lungs. When you practice gratitude daily, you rewire your brain to seek out the good. Over time, you'll attract more of it. A huge part of this habit is genuinely celebrating others' success. When you see a friend, coworker, or even a stranger on social media winning, many people's first reaction is envy. Why not me, they think. That's toxic, a wall blocking your prosperity. The wealthy see others' success as a positive sign. Billionaire Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." When you cheer for others, you draw successful, positive people into your life. You show the universe you're one of them, ready to receive the same. Ultimately, wealth isn't just about money. It's about rich relationships, people ready to lift you up. The best way to build those? Be someone who's always grateful and values those around you. Habit 4, take full responsibility, stop blaming. This is the toughest habit, but also the most powerful. Most of us are taught to point fingers when something goes wrong. The wealthy don't do that. They know everything in their life, good or bad, stems from their actions, thoughts, and words. They don't blame anyone because blaming turns them into victims of circumstance, and victims have no power to change anything. Picture someone stuck in traffic. The average person grumbles, blaming the government or other drivers, but someone with a wealthy mindset, they ask, "What can I do to avoid this next time? Is there another route? Could I leave earlier?" They take responsibility for the jam, not because they caused it, but because they want the power to change the outcome. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're at fault. It means you're in control. Start practicing this with small things. Miss a work goal? Instead of blaming your boss or team, take a deep breath and ask, "What did I do to create this result? Where can I improve?" Struggling in a relationship? Don't point fingers at the other person. Ask, "What did I say or do to get here? How can I change to make this better?" One of the greatest voices on responsibility is James Allen in his book, As a Man Thinketh. He wrote, "You are the master of your own destiny. Everything you face, success or failure, wealth or scarcity, flows from your thoughts and actions." George S. Clason in the classic The Richest Man in Babylon echoed this. Every man must take responsibility for his own success or failure. No one gets rich by wishing. When you truly believe this, failure stops scaring you. It becomes feedback, a priceless lesson to move forward. Taking responsibility is powerful because it makes you a creator. You're no longer a boat drifting on life's ocean. You're the captain steering your ship wherever you choose. Habit 5, integrity. Build trust and credibility. Integrity isn't just about not deceiving others, it's about keeping promises to yourself and doing exactly what you say you'll do. This habit seems simple, but forms the strongest foundation for building lasting wealth and prosperity. Imagine you're constructing a house. You can raise walls, add a roof, but if the foundation's weak, it'll collapse. Integrity is that foundation. Start with integrity toward yourself. Every time you promise yourself you'll wake up early, exercise, or read a page of a book, and don't follow through, you chip away at your self-respect and confidence. But every time you keep even the smallest promise to yourself, you strengthen that foundation. Over time, you'll trust yourself more. That confidence spills into every part of your life, including your finance. Now, let's talk about integrity in relationships. When you say you'll do something, no matter how small, do it. Billionaire Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, once said, "If you want to succeed, you must be someone others can rely on. Trust is your most valuable asset. Money can't buy it, but it can bring you more wealth than any investment. When you earn the trust of partners, colleagues, or clients, incredible business opportunities find you. People want to work with you, collaborate, and refer you to others. That's how the wealthy build their networks. By being dependable. Living with honesty in every moment is also part of this habit. Be truthful in your thoughts, words, and actions. Don't pretend to be someone you're not or show off what you don't have. Your authenticity will draw the right people to you, and they'll help you build a solid empire. Billionaire Oprah Winfrey once said, "The best way to succeed is to be yourself." Sounds great, but how can these habits make me rich right now? I need money to pay my bills today. That's the mindset of scarcity. People want instant results without planting the seeds. They only see the surface of the problem. Money isn't something you can force to grow overnight. It's like a tree. You can't demand fruit today from a seed you planted yesterday. You need patience, care, and trust in the process. Look at Walt Disney's story. He faced countless failures, rejected hundreds of times. He was even fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination, yet he stayed committed to his vision. Or take Elon Musk. He never left things half done. He worked 100-hour weeks to turn his wildest ideas into reality. That relentless follow-through built SpaceX and Tesla. These aren't exceptions, they're the rule. You might follow these habits and still fail. Why? First, some people act but don't believe. They give with a heart full of doubt, practice gratitude but still feel lacking. That doubt is poison, it kills the seeds you plant. Second, some give only to get. They offer a smile, advice, or money, but deep down they're thinking, what's in it for me? That turns giving into a transaction, not generosity. True giving comes from an open heart, with no strings attached. Finally, some lack consistency. They only practice these habits when they're excited. They give when they have extra cash, feel grateful on good days. That's the wrong kind of consistency. For these habits to work, you must do them even when you're uninspired, even when you're down. To make these solutions hit faster, try some breakthrough tips. First, use the visualize your future self technique. Spend 5 minutes each day. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself as a wealthy, prosperous person. Feel that freedom and inner peace deep in your soul. This practice trains your brain to believe it's possible. Then it starts hunting for paths to turn it into reality. Next, try the act opposite technique. When fear hits, take action. When you feel lack, give freely. When blame tempts you, own it fully. By flipping what those negative emotions whisper, you're blasting a powerful message to your subconscious. You're the one calling the shots. Finally, grab a gratitude journal. Pick up a small notebook. Each day, jot down not just 3 things you're thankful for, but also your tiny victories from the day. This builds proof of your growth. It feeds your faith and boosts your self-confidence. Let's tackle some common questions I want to clear up for you right now. First question. I've done all these things, but I still don't see money rolling in. What gives? Great question. Wealth is a flow, not a switch you flip. You may have planted the seeds, watered them, but they need time to sprout. The issue isn't that you're doing it wrong. You might just lack patience or be acting without true faith. Look inward. Are you truly giving from the heart? Are you genuinely grateful? Or are you just doing without being? Second question, does celebrating others' success really make me richer? Absolutely. When you sincerely cheer for someone else's win, you're doing 2 powerful things. First, you're kicking jealousy to the curb. That toxic emotion blocks wealth from flowing to you. Second, you're drawing a map in your mind. You're telling your subconscious, this is what I want. I'm thrilled it happened for them, and I believe it'll happen for me too. Your subconscious will start hunting for ways to make it real. Last question. How can I take responsibility when I'm not the one at fault? That's a mindset trap. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're to blame. It means you have power. You have the power to change the outcome no matter who caused the problem. For example, if you get laid off through no fault of your own, you still have the power to find a better job, learn a new skill. That's the difference between being a master of your life and being a victim. We've explored 5 simple yet life-changing habits together: generosity from the heart, relentless commitment to finishing what you start, sincere gratitude, absolute responsibility, and unwavering integrity. The best part? You don't need to be a billionaire to begin. You can start right now, right where you're sitting. Your life is your creation. Every day you have a choice. You can keep living in scarcity, worry, and blame, or you can choose to plant these seeds of prosperity, trust the process, and begin the journey to build the life you deserve. I can't do it for you, only you can. Pick one of these 5 habits and start practicing it today. Don't hesitate, don't delay. Drop a comment below and share which habit you're starting with right now. Let's build a community of creators, people rich not just in money, but in spirit. I believe in you.